The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. Have you seen the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's front yard? The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. By their own words, they were not seeking to know our Creator or Jesus. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name, for the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. So why is there a single letter O in the Hebrew text 1,095 times? No proper English was used? The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing. The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding. Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. As the text is revealed, you can taste the writer's style of wording. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. All right, this is 38 or 37. I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup here on this. And this is what text I found in the format was a 3-verse format. This is very important for this, actually the story of how Jeremiah was put into a house for prophesying, and then when he was captured, or when he was, I guess this isn't the complete story, I'm sorry, but it's part of the story that shows him being put into a house, and the house was made into a pretty much like a prison because it had guards. And then it talks about King Zedek, the last king for Israel. Where is this text at? Right here. Then the king brought him to him, and then he ended up going into the guard's house, put him under guard, and it was put into his courtyard guardhouse. Okay, so that's where we have Jeremiah left at right now. He's in the courtyard. Babylon is courtyard's guardhouse, and we have Babylon right now, or the army of Babylon at besieging the city now. Now, I don't know if that's going to be what we're going to find, because we're only on chapter 38, and there's 60 of these chapters in Jeremiah. So what I see here is that this isn't really a pattern. These are just names. So when I'm reading over them, I can see that these aren't important. But this guy here, he heard, so I can get rid of this text. Asher heard the words, the prophecies. These aren't just words that he's speaking. These are prophecies. Prophecies that Jeremiah was told to go tell the people. And he just doesn't speak to the people. He is heralding. Prophecies Jeremiah was heralding. To, and I'm going to get this out and say everyone. So, because if he's doing this at the front gate of YHVH'S house, there's the guards there, there's the priest there, there's people walking by, but across the street is where the king lives, so there's guards stationed for the king outside his residence. So I have to use the word everybody, so you know there's just more than just what's known as normal people going by. Everyone, heralding to everyone. Who stays this city happens to be Jerusalem, by the way, so I'm going to make it Jerusalem. Now we know that where he is at, more of a location than this city. Who stays in Jerusalem will die by sword and famine, and these I don't need, because the format pattern that I'm looking for, if you're new here, I should mention that to you, and that is when you see oops, what happened there? I didn't know that did that. So let me just let me show you here. What it is I'm trying to find a major word and a major word, and then connect them with the least amount of words. Now the word when, every once in a while, is the sentence, or is the major word to go together. So sometimes that is a major word. But you can see locked Jeremiah in his courtyard's guardhouse, and then connecting, and you can see I've repeated this even here when I'm adding a verse that was missing. So this is what I'm looking for, how I'm editing the text. Now, because it's a 3-verse format here, see, this could be made into a 4-verse. By sword or famine. See, I have heralding here, so I don't need this word here. Yeah, because when I have heralding, everybody should understand that those are words from our Creator. So I don't need this here. Okay, now what I've got is now 2 to make a larger paragraph. This is kind of a small paragraph. This is a small paragraph, but together they make a larger paragraph, and then the subject changes. That's what's so unique about the hidden format that I'm revealing here. But who goes out to the Chaldeans will live. Well, the Chaldeans were just a force around them, so goes out to the enemy will live. Chaldeans, they can't, they're just, the way the text is telling me that they agreed with Babylon to, instead of fighting it out, says, look, you're larger than we are, we'll join in, become part of your kingdom. And they probably killed their king and said, okay, here he is, and we don't want him no more, and now we'll work with you. And what they did to see if they could trust him, they would say, okay, well, your forces can go with us, so mount up and let's go. So that's why I said, well, it can't be just the Chaldeans around there. They would not, Babylon would not let them have full control of how to act against another nation. So, but who goes out to the enemy will live and have his own life. I don't need it as a booty, so I will agree that this is the major word here and just highlight it. Will live. Will stay alive, so I guess I don't need this. Will live, because life and live, those two are, life and live are pretty much the thing. Will live and stay alive. Should I put with them or for them? I guess I can leave it just like it is. But now here, this is Jerusalem again, so I have Jerusalem will be given if I put to the king for Babylon, that's a truthful statement. Um, Don't need this. We know he's prophesying here. Stay alive. And I'm going to kind of continue with that to make them read smoother. I need this word. Will stay alive and stay alive, for Jerusalem will be given into the hand of the army for the king of Babylon. Okay. I just was trying something out uh, here on the chat rooms. I just seen a message pop up. Sorry, I'm looking at that. What's going on? I guess I have to restart chat every time I start a new video because this is 16 minutes before it turned on. Okay. Now that would be good into the hand, into the hands. Oops, yeah. Of the, into the hands of the army or the king for Babylon. Okay. That reads good enough. This would have to be they will capture it. Now, do I need this text though? If Jerusalem is going to be given, then they will capture the. Oh, wait a second. This is a different subject. Okay, so this text we'll just say is out for the simple fact, and it was connected to this. This is what he's heard. Okay. Now, who is Pashur again? We don't have who he really is. Okay, so he has to have some kind of. And then Pashur said to the king, let this male be put to death. But that's a 4-verse. So let me see if it goes on to 4-verse here that we've changed to a 4-verse. Because it's then Pashur, but he has to go to the king. He's hearing him. I'm trying to make the text line up as well. So if Pashur heard the words Jeremiah prophesied to him, and this is the words that he's hearing, he's got to arrest him or take to him. If he's going to say to the king, then the king heralding to the king and not everyone. And Pashur is one of those that are in his personal guard that come out to listen to him. And I'm not sure that's how that would be done. or he is discouraging that men of war, but he is discouraging the people, or is urging. He is not discouraging. He is, well, I guess he is discouraging. For he is discouraging. It would be the first person, our people. Who are left in Jerusalem. So what this is telling me, in my head anyway, when I'm reading it, who are staying in Jerusalem are dying by famine and pestilence, but who goes out. So I have this wrong. So I got to change this to this, to this, to this, like that. Are dying. Whoops. Are dying by famine or sword. So Jeremiah is in the city now. It could be will die, because he's still not in captivity, and so that means the story about his captivity, he was leaving out the gate, and they arrested him. So I got that part wrong, but I got this part right. Will die by famine and pestilence, but who goes out to the enemy will live and stay alive. So at this time, the text is telling me that they're still not quite at the front door of Jerusalem. Okay? But they know Babylon is coming. And if he didn't say, he told the king. Okay, yeah, I can use the word so. He told the king. Now, who is he, though? So he told our king. This has to be because this could be any one of the kings. Here, let me show you here. Jeremiah is a prophet, and he shows up as a prophet in about the 10th year, according to the text so far, and he speaks about these three kings. Now, what it seems like is he's not really under this king yet, and this could be the last days that's happening here, or it could be in the early years of this king. So, see, if I had his name, I'd put it here. But I don't have it yet. For he is discouraging our people. And they aren't left who are in Jerusalem. And this is describing everybody here, people here who are, so I've got that covered. By speaking, I'm just trying to see, okay, here is the king. Okay, and that's who I was wondering if that's who it was. So I will put his name here, up here, so the reader isn't confused. So we know who we're talking about when the text is being said here. So he told Zedek. Okay, so this guy has to be like the highest priest. Okay. And okay, I just need that in my head here. Now this here, this is telling me that there's two groups of words here, 2, 3 formats. By speaking these words, this man is not seeking our well-being, but rather for their harm. By speaking he's heralding, so let's put heralding, or I will. I'm the one in control, I guess. So, but I'm just thinking here, by heralding, prophecies to them. By heralding prophecies to them. Okay. Okay, now this is a 2 group. That's 2 groups. Zedek said, even if he is in your hands, do nothing against him. So Zedek said, for the king can do nothing. This is wrong. The king can do whatever he wants to do. So Zedek said, in your hands. I guess I need to use the word do, but I'll put it here. Say I added it. Do nothing against him. Do nothing. I guess I'll get rid of this and say, do not kill him. And that's because I think that's what the intent is why he's here. Put him to death. So that has to show up here. Do nothing would have been the word, could have been translated the word do not. So that's a closer. And then kill, I have to say that I'm adding that text. Do not kill him. This has to be the word but. And so it's not quite what's here. He's against what he's saying. So, but the king said this type of reply. The king didn't say commanded him. And even though if I'm saying he's the high priest, the king is still higher than him. So his word and authority rules. So Zedek commanded him. He is in your hands. You are holding him in your hands because he's got him arrested, right? No, he hasn't arrested him. He's talking to him. He's talking to him about him, so he could still be out there heralding. So he's walked across the yard, went right straight in and talked to the king. Mm. Wait a minute, I got this a little bit wrong. Let's see what happens if I use I am the king. Behold, I am your king. You are not to kill him. Okay. Now I finally know why he put him in under, well, I don't know. That's not right. That's when the stories go together, these pieces, I got pieces in my head and I'm trying to put them together. Okay. Um, and I thought it was the advisors that put him into the, cast him into the well. Didn't cast him. Cast is to kind of toss. So cast, put him into the well. And if I, yeah, you can't throw a guy down the well because that would be the intent to killing him. So the well would have this rope at the top to draw the water. So how am I trying to do this? Then they, who are they? Because it's only one guy so far. So it says, so it's got to be then the priest. So it's the priest here. That's the only way I can say who Pasher is. He would have the authority to walk right in and talk to the king. Then the priest took Jeremiah and lowered him into the well. Okay. And then he's out of the king's presence. So this is a second subject here. The king's son, which is when the courtyard, because this is the courtyard. We're out in the courtyard, not the courtroom. And this is the king's courtyard. In the king courtyard by the gourds. Okay, no, this is, must be where the water or the well is at. By the guard house or the guard room. I'm going to change it to room here. Or, well, I think the guard quarters. Um, if it the word house, I guess it does have more than one guard in there, so it could be described as a house. The guardhouse. Okay. So this here is out. Ha! I didn't even. When I put the word lowered here, I should have read here. They let him down with ropes. But this group might not be right. Then the priest in the courtyard by the guard room. Because this is, there was no water, only mud. And Jeremiah sank. And I guess sank into it. So that is this. So this is the end of that subject. Now these two here, I can only use one. So from this mess, then the priest, don't need this. I got lowered him into the well in the court. Well, oh boy, is that good. There we go, right there. And that's a perfect match. Now what happened here to my stream? How come I'm not seeing anything here? What's going on here? Guess I forgot to put a few things here to see. Okay. Then the priest lowered him into the well in the courtyard by the guardhouse. This is, we're getting, we can actually start drawing what I've been telling you as what should be around Jerusalem now. And that's going to be great because we can now, because they all kind of want to know where David's palace is at, where he built it. Well, I can tell you, it's right across the street because right, this story is perfectly that this guy walked across the street and was talking to the king. I mean, how cool is that? Okay. And I will not use this name. We use this without this. This is not true. He wasn't there. Oh, this is getting. to the king's palace, no, court room. This is where he would talk with his advisors. People would come in and talk to him. So this has to be like a courtroom is the best description I can think of right now. And they started off by saying court. So in the king's court, I have to use room, but it's, but in the king's court. He spake. The only thing is he's got to be a guard because it's by the guard's house. He probably watched it. To his king, and he spake to his king. But here I could have him watching as this guy watched Jeremiah. Now the king was sitting at the gate of Benjamin. This is wrong. Into the well. If the guards were all on duty, you still have to have a night shift guards, and so this house is holding many guards. So this got to be then. Then Melech. Melech. But if he saw him, he just immediately went there, and all this is not needed. Let's see what happens with the text going down farther, because this is 2. No, this is 1, this is 2. Now the space. So if I get one that connects with this, but this wouldn't be here. Or they put Jeremiah into the well. So you can tell when this word is being used in reference to the king's palace, the text that's being edited here is truly not by the people, the Romans who come and took over everything. Because if you read the 1611 preface, the text was in somebody else's hands for 100 years and they don't know who it was. And those that were editing into this text, I know who they are. And they are from Asia. And yes, they would use the word eunuch and put all that into the text because the eunuchs had such a placing within the king's court. I would say in China. So, but if it just starts out here, went to the court, spake to the king. Well, this has got to be done here. My lord and king. My lord and king. These are priests. The priest. The priest were wicked. Oh, that's right. I'm trying to find out if this. Forgot what I was doing. I was thinking, how come that's there? My king, the priest were wicked. What they done to Jeremiah. Now I'm adding this. So let me just put it like this for right now so I know that's what's, I gotta check that. They have lowered, they um, into your well. And you can see if the well is empty, this text, where, when was this done? This is getting very close to within the, yes. For the timing of this is almost at the end before they're taken into captivity. But how did he get out to do this? There had to be water at this time there. So here, when it was this, there was water. There was water. Somehow there has to be water down there, and water and mud. There was, because the simple fact is they can't have a famine yet when this is taking place, because it's going to be, as far as I know, they aren't out at the gate. He was prophesying to leave. So how can there be no water? And that's the problem of the scribe here, trying to edit to be truthful of what would have been in the situation. And this, if this was out, and this connects with this one. See here, this is not right either, because you got to understand the story I'm looking at here, that he's told them what? To go out, you can live with the enemy. So we know at this time he's not there. So there's not they aren't there yet. But if the king's well is dry, that's not good for the king. He would have had him make sure there's water there. That's why he's staying inside. I've got to say that this is wrong. I'm just trying to put at what time this is happening. And right now, I can't say this is true. I'm going to make it, though, 9 point. And that way it will stay within my text when I go to clean things up. And then because I have it in 9 point, then it'll be something I can really seriously get into here. Because this, I'm not seeing that he heard them. No, this is all wrong. So this is gone. That's got to be gone. So I'm looking for the other part of this, which would be this. And this is what he's going to say to the king. My lord and king, the priests were wicked. All would be together. I'm just trying to see what words are possibly. The priest acted wickedly together. Now, if I get rid of those, that they wickedly together, I'm done. If I put and done Jeremiah, we know he's a prophet. They have lowered him into your well. Wickedly. He will die. This could be there. So that would be, oops, that'd be the end of this. And he will die there. They lowered him into your well, and he will die there. Okay, the word done is not right here. Okay, my Lord and King, the priests acted wickedly together. To harm Jeremiah. Yeah, I see it that way. To, let's see, harm, to teach Jeremiah a lesson. I'm going to use the word harm. That was the first time. Okay. And this is too far away. So I got to say that I'm going to add that text. To harm Jeremiah, they lowered him in the well, and he will die there. And then that way we know the well's got water in it. But he's seen it when it was happening. And now this has to be two more. This can't happen yet. And we know he's not Ethiopian. See, under your guard. Okay, under your authority. Okay. Then our king commanded Melik. You don't need 30 men, you need probably 3 men. Okay, these guys are guards, they're well fit. Took 3, he'd be the 4th. So I don't need the word 30. Take men, take Spain from the well. See, they got him, he's got him drowning too. So now this story can be, yes, way earlier. Okay, so we'll bring up Jeremiah. Now this, I guess he knows he's in the well, so this, I really don't need this text. And bring up Jeremiah. I just need to see under your authority. Bring up Jeremiah before he dies. So I might have to use the word here up here. Then our king commanded Malach, take your men, it has to be under your authority, take your men under your authority and bring up Jeremiah before he dies. Okay, before he drowns. Not drowns. Drowns. Now we have a lot of water. And that is about time that makes sense now. Now I know that I'm getting rid of this because that story is too clean, too worried. So now it is this text with this text, and then these two go together, and then those two go together. Oh, I love it when the story goes together. It's going to read real nice and smooth when I'm done. Look, so Malach with his men under his authority. All right. Went to the storeroom. Boy, they added a lot of text to get beneath the storeroom. Beneath, to a place beneath. And went into the storeroom. And took from there worn out rags. Now the rags got to go under his armpit, and then ropes underneath that, or that, so you don't rip the guy's arms out. And because they're going to probably bring him up maybe 10 feet. Took them there. I'm just going to put worn out as old. Clothing, uh-oh. Something's happening here. Okay, now just give me a great big sign over here. Now I don't know what to do about that because this is, if I go any higher, let me just see if I can just, it needs a little bit in the kick here. Let's say 5 and then apply. When people start going online, I think that's what happens here. That I get these messages like too many people crowding onto YouTube. Yeah, I set it 50 kb's higher and it's okay. So that is funny though. Whoops. That isn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to press this button. And took old rags and ropes to the well. Took old rags and ropes to the well. Okay. Now that means this goes like this. 50. I'm just shocked at what I did. Okay. I'm getting tired of editing just his name. No, I gotta have it over here, and I gotta have then. And at the beginning, I was telling you that sometimes this little word then is needed because it's a very important word in the subject line. Then Jeremiah then said to Jeremiah, put the rags under your armpits and under the rags ropes it's not ropes, it's a rope. I just figured out how they've done it. They're going to pull them up with one, so they must have cut the rope for the well bucket. Okay, that's why they had to go get the ropes, because usually a well has that rope to go down to get a bucket of water. So what they're going to do is raise him up with one rope, but they want this under him, then tie, then under the ropes, and tie the rope. Oh, I love it. You know, what's funny about this is some of this is, 2,400 years old. And to see it appearing correctly, that's what's unique. And I'm going to say did so this way. I like the word so here. But I got to find the word ropes right here. Get rid of that S. Okay. Took from there old rags and a rope. I don't know about you, but that was visually. That's what I'm always doing. The visual effect in my head helps me figure out these answers to what's really truthful or not. That was kind of clean. That was clean. And tie the ropes. Tie the rope. And Jeremy. Okay. Now see, this is where I got to use the word then, but it's not an important word. Then they pulled. Although I could say Jeremiah up. Well, now see, they're going to place him in the courtyard or in the guardhouse. In the courtyard by. And again, that means that this, how'd he get out to be able to do this? Something's gone. In my head, I got like 5 different pieces, and I'm seeing I got 2 pieces over here. The others can fit. If I took 1 piece over here, then these 4 fit. But they don't sound right, so it's kind of moving all these pieces around. It's and I'm going to have to say the word up here, pulled up, and just say that I need to add that, and I'm getting rid of it here. Pulled up Jeremiah with ropes. I want to say to remove him from the well. I'm I'm not sure if that's the best way to say that. And now this isn't true. And they let him go, is what they did. Now, see, here's the story that if he's that he's back in the guardhouse. So the thing here is this is a separate story. This is later. This stuff here is going with later because otherwise these pieces ain't making any sense to me. So this is when, look, what is it? Let me show you what, see, then they locked him in the courtyard here, okay? So what happened was I had to have this and this go together. These in the middle are going to that other story that I was telling you about. So the thing here is he was put in a house here because, okay, let me get up here a little bit. Jeremiah was leaving Jerusalem to go to Benjamin's, to land. That's where he actually lives. And is at the gate, captain asked him, whose name was guards. And I have to, and his name, this has got to be future editing, name, and this is being written afterwards, so that would be okay, was this. But the only thing is he stopped them from leaving to go to the enemy because they were still out there. And then this guy had him, went to his commander, because it has to be somebody of great authority to be able to say he had him beaten and jailed, but he put him in a house for this guy, and then he made it like a prison with guards. I had to add that to make sense, because how do they put him into a house? Okay. Then the story goes, then Zedek called him from there to talk to him. Brought him to the king, and then he said, "Don't send me back to this guy's house." So he said, "Okay, you're now in the guardhouse." So now that you can see why I'm saying Jeremiah stayed in the courtyard, and it had to be then again the king. But this is where he's put him after he talked to him. See, this is where he has to, the king sent for him. And this is out. This is definitely out. Then our king sent for Jeremiah and his guards brought him to him. Okay. At the third entrance that was in the house of Yv, no, you can't get into our creator's courtyard, not even the king. So there's no such entrance then. The king, and he asked, and he asked, and he asked Jeremiah, I'm going to ask you, does need something. I'm going to ask you, do not hide. I need all these words from me. Okay. Then Jeremiah replied to the king, if I tell you, will you certainly put me to death? So, then Jeremiah, I guess does he say this or does he reply? he answers the king this way. Well, this is not going to be his answer. This is more or less all over the word said, okay? And I do this with every word. Then Jeremiah said to Zedek, if I tell you, will you not put me to death if I give you advice? Okay, so it's more or less, um, let's see, ask Jeremiah. So this has to be a different story here. Oh, he pulled him up. Now this is going to be a different story here. This is, like I said, he's going to put him into the guardhouse. So this has to be the conversation before then. So, and he asked Jeremiah, I am going to ask you, do not hide anything from me. Then Jeremiah said to Zedek, if I tell you, will you put me to death if I give you advice you will not listen to? If I give you advice you will not listen to. So that's a question. This, when you're using these words, as YV lives, this is a vow, not just a swearing. A vow is something that you're saying to our Creator, I will always do this the rest of my life. So this has to be ED, vowed. This is where the word so comes to play. So King Zedek vowed to Jeremiah, as YV lives. Okay. Now that's, like I said, this writer puts these things together a little bit on as YV lives. Don't need this. I will not put you to death, nor will I give you over to. Now I had advisors. Now I'll give you over to. But here it would be priest, that if I was following that. But I'm going to put advisors because that was the story way back. So, if I can remember right, this is going to be advisors. Nor will I give you over to, and then this, he would know that that's who they are. To my advisors. Let's see. Okay. Then Jeremiah said to Zedek, let's see here. The prophecy up above was that if you go out, you will have your life and save your life. So I don't need this word because I got to introduce our Creator's words. Said to Zedek, this, meaning prophecy, was prophesied by YV. If you go out to the commanders for Babylon, if you go out to the commander for Babylon, then you will live. Well, that's what he said. That was the prophecy that I started when I was in here. Now, this, I just got to kind of like say, okay, that group, then this group, okay. Now he's got to say something like, but if you do not go out, yeah, okay, you will live. Now, all this doesn't need to be here. Now, but if you do not go out to the commander, well, I can pretty much to the commander for, yeah. Commander from Jerusalem. I'm not sure if this is the end. Then Jerusalem be given, you do not go out to the commander for, you will be given. Oops, this, and then this, and I don't need this. Give it over to the hands of the Chaldeans. And now I have to have the city here next. But this goes here. You'll be given over to this. If you do not go out, I don't need this to say this. But if you will not go out, you will be given over to the hands of the Chaldeans. Yes, that's better. Okay. And this, he's not worried about. This has already been said. Here, do I need these words? Well, the story is continuing. You can tell when the story is continuing. There's a lot of text. This, this is being made up because all the prophecies, our Creator doesn't say it like this, that the women will do this, these, divide them category. So then everyone who is left, see, that's in the palace of the king of Judah. See, now it's going those women are going to tell you your close friends, and you sunk back in the mire. While your feet were sunk in the mire, they turned back. So this right here for sure is not being said. This, I'm pretty sure, it's not been said in any of the prophecies. Because he's having a conversation with them. What he's been heralding at the gate is different than this. Okay? So if he was to herald it, it would have been with him when he's heralded. What I'm saying to you, well, would be good. For your good and live. Not that you may live. to me. This would be prophesy, not shown, but prophesied. If you refuse to, this is to be hooked together, meaning go out. These are the words. This has to be the word these. These are the words. YHVH's promise, meaning what he said is to be this. Please obey YHVH. So here, not please, obey YHVH. This is not. Jeremiah said, I don't think this is here, and this is can't be used then. But Jeremiah said, obey YHVH for your own good and life, because down here, if you don't obey him, these are his words. So I need this, not what I am saying. What I'm saying is to obey. Okay, so that would mean this text goes with that text. I'm just checking to see how much more I got here. Now this, if this and this group are together, now there's got to be two here. Then Zedek said to Jeremiah, I dread the Jews who have gone, who have, who have given up, who have this be given up, and I don't need this, because it's not them out the door, it's the whole army. So now this, Least, I don't see the word least. I see that if. I see it as if. Oops. If they give me into their hands, they will abuse me. Okay, so they're gathering them up to take them as captives, or, yeah, captives. So he's going to be among them, is what he's saying. I dread our people. That sounds. Uh, one day I will get this 100% correct, hitting the keys to do it so I don't have to redo it. So that's looking good. Now that's okay. Now, but if you refuse to go out, now this is like changing subjects here from here to here. I thought they were tied together to be complete, like what he's already said, because he's now going to say it even more. But this, yes, this has all been prophesied. So I don't think he needs to say this. They're going to bring out your woman to the children. Yourself will not escape from their hand. They'll seize the hand of the king. You'll be seized by the hand of, no. That, I already got him that the Chaldean, he's going to give him over to the Chaldeans when he tries to escape. So this has already been known, so they're trying to add this. This has already been prophesied, don't need it. This is him saying, let man, let, not said, but told him, commanded Jeremiah. Commanded Jeremiah, let no one know. About my words. Let no, if I do this, know about any of my words. know about any of my words, you will yeah, I guess I need it, and you will not die. But if my advisors, I told you that's what I believe this is what this is all about here. But if my advisors here I have talked with you, they will they'll come to you asking. They'll come to you asking, tell us now what you said to me, and that way it's first person, not the king. That's what was kind of throwing me off. Tell us now what you said to me. He's telling him, so that sounds right now as first person. And what the king and what I said to you. Yeah, this is out. I've read ahead and I can see that this is what he's going to say. He's going to say, if they say this, you say this, and then say this to them, because this is a group. So I've got to have a group here and a group here, and then you can see they're going to come here. So these two are going to be. Then I guess I can use that. Then you are to say to them, I was presenting my request. I'm trying to keep the word petition only to go to towards our Creator. You remember, there's going to be about 150,000 words when I'm done, and I want to make sure the words always mean used in a certain way. I was presenting my request. Before our King. To not make me return to the house for Jonah, or I will die there. Okay. Then all the advisors came to Jeremiah. I guess I had it right the first time. Together Then together the advisors came and questioned Jeremiah, and he told them all. So he told them all Now I'm using the word so as a major word. Told them the same words which the king had commanded him. Told them all the words. Okay. So he told them all the words. So they told him everything. So he told him everything, the words which the king had commanded him. Okay. And they ceased, they stopped asking him. And he stopped asking him since I'm going to put their meeting Had not been overheard. Yeah, I can leave it like that. So Jeremiah courtyard by no. So Jeremiah was kept. Yep, kept in the courtyard's guardhouse. Until I get rid of this word, kept in the guard's house until Jerusalem was captured. Okay, that's the end of that one. A lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Sometimes it's just my mind having to put puzzle pieces together. So if I do this, and I got to go back to that other text before I forget it, and go down, and then I got to save that because I get it ready for the next video. And then, because I'm hoping to do one more today. So now this is the text. He's prophesying for all this. So this needs this, like this, and like this. Now 1, 2, this one's up here. Yeah, this is where this was definitely separate from this. I don't know who this guy is at this time. Like I said, might be the high priest. No, this was two different junk stories. Well, not junk, but scrambled. See how well that story goes together? Oops. Okay, I got too many words here. Have to be this. Went to the well and said to Jeremiah. Okay, that's better. Now this is 2, and they pulled him up to remove the well. Yeah, these are 2 close. So there's, and this is, like I said, the text that's missing. So to do that, I got to put it in now before it'll just save me some time later. Okay. Now this is the next story. Okay. Just want to make sure I was cutting this right. And then here it looks like there are words. Oh, this is what I said that this writer writes like this. Puts it there. And then, no, that's not reading right. So there is something missing here. Well, let me get this. Now it's 2. But that's too good of a grouping. Oh, that's good. Because that's right on cue. And 2. And 1, 2. It gets, when you see a story this long and so detailed, I can just imagine how much we got missing text that they threw out. I mean, gotta be hundreds of conversations that they threw out, and then there's it. Okay, let me save that, and I'll bring it down to show you the text here. It looks real nice, and like I said, these are written in columns, as you can see. So there's the end of this one. Oh, this one here, and I will try to let you read it when you can stop the video from time to time, and that way you can read it or take a snapshot of it, and then you've got it before I release it as a PDF. But you can look over the words, probably do some editing on it, but a very long story of what was going on. And that is so unique. That is a very long, detailed story, how they wrote that. All right. I'm hoping to be back on the next, here in a